All right, Nico, first off, just let me ask, this week of practice, getting back to the fundamentals?
That's pretty much about it, back to the basics, just, taking the right steps, as a linebacker or putting your hands in the right place, just pretty much back to the basics like camp. We starting all over pretty much. And, you kind of don't like these type of practices, but it helps you down the road because you kind of tone everything back up that kind of got away from because of the season. So, I mean, working hard.
How much can getting back to the fundamentals be beneficial?
Oh, it can, by, going through a season, coming off camp, going through the fundamentals, coach beating it into you, then you go through a season, you kind of relax and just, you kind of get away from that. And then, having the bye week, getting back to the fundamentals reminds you and reminds your body how important it is to, have those fundamentals. So it's just, it's important.
How tough was it to lose a guy like Alex Watkins?
Oh, it was real tough because he had a lot of, roles on the team, as far as special teams and, backing up Courtney or getting Courtney and Dante a breather. So, I mean, we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of good players, but, by losing him, it means a lot. He's a senior on the team, he wants to go out, just doing his best. And so far he was doing that. And we talked today, but he think he'll be able to come back in a few weeks. So who knows?
Talk about just what you've seen, just the progression, the leadership you've seen from Courtney Upshaw.
Oh, like I said earlier, Courtney, he came off a season last year. He felt like, he didn't produce like he was supposed to because he was hurt. So this year, he's really humble and he's hungry. I mean, he's hungry. It seems like his hunger gets bigger and bigger every week. So, I mean, his leadership, he keeps everybody going. And I kind of think it started, last year at the Michigan State game when, like, he felt like the team wasn't ready. But we were sitting there talking. He was like, I'm going to set this tone, to get everybody and let everybody know, we're ready. And, by him talking to me, I felt like, why can't I be the one to set the tone? That's why I made the first play. I kind of did what I did. But, Courtney's leadership, it means a lot.
How are you able to, Coach Saban talked about it, the biggest thing is with a week off, and you're going to be watching ESPN and seeing it hammered in your head, every paper, nationally, internet. How are you separating yourself from LSU and focusing on what you need to do at least this week to get better?
I think, like I go back, I use last year as a big example, because we lost to them last year. We don't want that to happen again, and on top of that, we're trying to get a national championship here. So just by that happening, it kind of molds us and reminds us instant that we can't do that because we get complacent. It's bad things that happen. So I think just what happened last year, it takes place by itself.
Go ahead.
And with the bye week, anything special we're playing with family this weekend? Any special pro team you get to watch that you normally wouldn't get to?
As far as family, I was probably gonna go to my little high school game or watch my little nephew play football. But as far as watching football, I pretty much don't watch NFL football or any other college team like that. But other than that, it's pretty much about it. Just getting the rest up and get ready for next week.
Did you got a chance, guys, to watch LSU Auburn maybe the first half or so? Just what have you seen from them?
They're relentless. They're pretty much just about like us. They got the same mindset, relentless on defense and just pounding it on offense. So I mean, we got to be ready. We got to be ready to execute on every aspect of the game, from special teams to offense to defense, and just be ready to play. So I mean, we can't come out slow like we have before multiple times. So. We're going to work hard next week. Well, we're working hard now, but we're going to work hard next week whenever we get the game plan in and go from there.
Yeah, talk about putting that hype. There's all the pressure on 1 versus 2, blah, blah, blah. Just talk about, you're putting that behind you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's no biggie, Like, I like to say as a defensive player, we get more pressure, pressure in practice than any other thing that's going on with the outside clutter. But, Coach Saban had molded into us that we can't get complacent. We can't watch the news like that. We can't, it's kind of, I wouldn't say set up, but we can't, let our mind drift off with that because, we kind of lose focus on what we want. So that 1 and 2 thing, luckily we number 2 and luckily they're number 1. It's just we happen to be on the same schedule this year and we playing. So it's going to be a good game and we just going to compete and execute well.
You talk about the two quarterbacks. You know, Jarrett Lee's been the main guy, but you know,
I mean, they're both. You know, I played against. Well, I was fortunate enough to. You know, I played against Jefferson my freshman year, and then last year, both of them. They're good players. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, we're gonna have to, you know, slow them down because, like I said, they're good players. So I mean, we're gonna have to execute well, keep them in the pocket, and get after them. You know, because it shows that if you don't get after them, they'll make you pay. So I mean, we're gonna have to do that.
just talk about, you know, I know Coach Jim talked about you guys got off to a slow start against Florida and Ole Miss, but you sort of got a little bit back against Tennessee. How important is it not to get off to that, you know, get behind the 8 ball right off the bat against a good team like LSU?
It's really important. Like you said, they're a good team. You know, if we let that happen one more time, who knows? They may be the team to capitalize off our mistake. They may, you know, we had to go up 7, and you know, who knows? We may never be able to recover from it. So I mean, we got to come out. We got to have better focus than we ever had before. So I mean, because it's the next game, and you know, it's an important game because you know they're a good team. So it's just that's one thing we're gonna have to focus on, is just having better focus and intensity. Because when we do have a better focus and intensity, you know, we tend to do better than, you know, people expect.
But you know, being a young guy like you, I know it's easy to say, hey, stay focused on what you got to do this week. Don't worry about the game. But really, you know, when you watch TV and you watch the internet and you see the internet and the hype is all on this game, is it hard not to just let your mind think just a little, God, I wish it was this week?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's gonna be an intense game, emotional game. You know, I wish it was this week, but you know, the way our bodies feel, you know, we kind of it came in the right time. You know, we need a rest, so I mean, we're gonna get rest and come back next week and ready to roll. So I mean, yeah, they're fortunate they got a bye week too, so it's not gonna be an excuse of, you know, win or loss. So I mean, we gonna be on top of it.
Let me ask you about that bye week. Last one. Okay. About the bye weekend. And would you rather? Do you like the bye weeks? Do you like the bye weeks, or do you rather just, you know, like you guys are playing really well, you're rolling, you had an incredible second half against Tennessee. Would you rather just continue that momentum and play it this week?
Nah, I like the bye week because, I mean, it's the SEC. You know, you play a good team week in and week out. So, I mean, you need a rest sooner or later because, like I said, good teams week in and week out, you banging against each other in practice, and you're going out on Saturdays banging against another good team. So it takes a toll on your body, and sooner or later your body needs a break. So, I mean, I love them.